"Why do you avoid me?" asked the alien captain. Captain Vectal thrust his frill forward and blocked the corridor. Mara Klein halted mid-stride, her pale human eyes widening a fraction. "Why do you avoid me, Specialist Klein?" His voice echoed off the bulkheads, sharp as a plasma cutter. "Every crew member stands at attention when I pass. You shrink away like I'm toxic." Mara's shoulders tensed. She glanced left, then right, at the empty passage. "Captain." "Not here." "Here, now." Vectal's frill pulsed red, signaling his demand for clarity. His species thrived on directness. Ambiguity bred fractures in the chain of command. Humans muddled everything with their soft words and averted gazes. She planted her feet. "Sealed briefing room. Private. Or, I say nothing." Insolence. Vectal's claws twitched against his utility belt. The Time's Vanguard Times explored uncharted sectors. Crew cohesion kept them alive amid quantum storms and void beasts. This human's distance poisoned morale. Whispers already circulated. Asterisk. She despises us. Thinks us primitives. Asterisk. Fine. He tapped his comm. Security to Deck 7 corridor. Escort Specialist Klein to Briefing Room 3. Full protocol. Mara's jaw tightened. Escort? That's not... Move. Vectal stepped aside, but only just. She edged past, her scent flat, mammalian brushing his frill. No reaction. Good. Some crew swore humans carried a subliminal aggression marker, but tests proved negative. 2 armored guards materialized from the lift, their frills erect. They flanked Mara without touching her. Vectal led the way, his boots thudding on the grate floor. Alarms pinged in his implant. Rumor nodes lighting up shipwide. Asterisk. Captain detains human. Quarantine? Court-martial? Asterisk. By the time they reached Briefing Room 3, the ship's gossip net burned hot. Vectal sealed the door with a hiss. The room's holo table hummed to life, casting blue glows across sterile walls. Speak. He loomed over the table, frill fully extended. The guards posted at the hatch. Mara stood rigid, hands clasped behind her back. Captain, your crew. They keep their distance from me too. For good reason. Prejudice? Vectal snarled. My people integrated your kind decades ago. Shared tech. Colonies. Yet you act hunted, not hunted. Her voice dropped. Hiding. 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 The door chime cut her off. First Officer Soren burst in, frill quivering. Captain! Reports flooding in. Crew on edge. Is this about the human protocols? Contain it, Vectal snapped. Dr. Wren, summon her. Soren nodded curtly and retreated. Moments later, the xenobiologist entered, scanner in hand. Doctor. Isha Wren's frill stayed neutral. Analytical. Captain. Specialist. What's the crisis? Vectal pointed at Mara. She avoids contact. Demanded privacy. Explain yourself, Klein. Or I invoke containment. Mara exhaled slowly. Humans have a reflex. Close proximity under stress triggers it. Pheromonal burst. Your species reacts badly. Aggression spikes. We've documented cases. Brawls, even fatalities in mixed crews. Wren's scanner beeped as she swept it over Mara. No markers detected. Not rumor. Mara's eyes locked on Vectal's. I hide it. To protect everyone. Including me. Your prejudice paints humans as fragile. Reveal this, and it confirms every fear. We're volatile predators. Vectal's frill darkened. Lies. Tests cleared you for duty. The ship lurched. Alarms wailed, red strobes flashing. Vectal's implant screamed. Asterisk quantum rift breach. Hull integrity failing. Deck. 4 venting. Asterisk. Report, he barked. Soren's voice crackled over comm. Rift tore open off the bow, sir. Anomalous energy shearing the shields. Engineering can't compensate human tech. Incompatibility. So, Vectal gripped the table. The Times Vanguard Times relied on Cathari stabilizers, precise and fragile. Human jury rigs always risked overload. Too fast, rifts pulling us in. Mara moved first. She slapped the holo controls, pulling up schematics. The Nexus core. It's destabilizing because your dampeners can't handle the flux variance. Vectal leaned in. State the obvious elsewhere. She ignored him, fingers flying. I can recalibrate manually, bridge the human interface protocols, but it requires direct access. Physical. Ren's frill flared. The core chamber? Lethal radiation. Even for us. For you. Mara stripped off her tunic, revealing a skin suit patched with unfamiliar seals. Humans tolerate it. Redundant cellular repair. Our hidden difference. Vectal's mandibles parted. Tales from old exchanges. Humans endured voids. Radiations that felled Cathari in minutes. But proof? None aboard. The ship groaned. A bulkhead buckled somewhere below. Time? Vectal demanded. 3 minutes to cascade failure. Mara eyed the guards. Alone. No escorts. Proximity risk spikes under stress. He hesitated. Trust her word? Or watch the crew die on rumors? Go, he growled. Ren, monitor vitals. Mara bolted for the access hatch. Vectal followed at a distance, frill taut. The lift plunged to engineering decks, emergency lights flickering. Steam hissed from ruptured lines. She pried open the core chamber. Radiation alarms screamed. Vectal's skin prickled his frill, recoiled from the glare. Mara stepped inside without a suit, no flinch, no stagger. She yanked panels, splicing cables with bare hands. Sparks flew, her skin reddened. But she worked on rewiring junctions, bridging alien circuits to a handheld human modulator. Vectal watched from the threshold. His implant fed data. Radiation at 500 rads. Lethal dose for Cathari. In seconds. She hit 90 seconds. Sweat beading. But her hands stayed steady. What's that? Ren's voice over comm. Pheromone spike. Detected. But contained. She's suppressing it. Mara grunted, slamming a final connector. Flux inverted. Dampeners sinking. The ship shuddered. Then stabilized. Alarms silenced. The hollow feed showed the rift sealing. Quantum tendrils. Recoiling, Vectal exhaled. Mara emerged, skin blistered but walking. No collapse. No rage. She handed him the modulator, human tech, humming with residual power. Reflex held, she said. Stress maximal. No trigger. Ren arrived, scanner whirring. Incredible. Cellular regeneration already at 20%. And the pheromone, it's a bonding agent. Not aggression. Boosts Cathari focus in low doses. Vectal took the device. His frill eased to blue calm. He'd misread distance as disdain. It was protection. Competence. Hidden to avoid fear. You saved us. He extended a claw. Not in salute, but clasp. Mara gripped it firmly. No recoil, Soren's comm chimed. Captain. Rumors shifting. Crew hailing the human. Hero status. Vectal nodded. Good. Klein full disclosure briefing tomorrow. No more hiding. No more hiding. Her eyes crinkled human smile. Agreed. But start with low-stress tests. The corridor outside buzzed with crew. No whispers of prejudice. Just awe. But Vectal's implant pinged again. Anomaly residue. Lingering. Sensors detected a shadow. In the rift. Watching. Something had followed them home. Captain Vectal stabbed the console. Security footage froze on Mara Klein stepping back from crewman Learvek in the engineering bay. Third time this cycle. Her shoulders hunched, eyes downcast. No claw extension, no frill flare. Just retreat. He rewound. Frame by frame. Klein sidestepped Officer Terran during mess rotation. Backed away from Technician Jor in the lift. Pattern clear. Hostile avoidance. Humans integrated poorly before whispers of dominance urges. This vessel, ISS Harmony's joint crew, couldn't afford fractures. Vectal's frill twitched yellow alert. He tapped comms. First Officer Soren. Report to bridge. Priority. Soren arrived in strides, scales gleaming under lights. Captain, review this. Vectal replayed the clips. Klein's consistent distance. No accidents. Deliberate. Soren's frill stiffened orange analysis. Prejudice? Or threat assessment? Human baseline. Pack hunters. Proximity signals challenge. Exactly. Vectal zoomed on Klein's face. Neutral. Too neutral. She's the only human systems specialist. Access to core relays. If she's mapping weaknesses, Soren nodded. Drafting containment now. Restrict her to auxiliary panels. Escort required for main engineering. Log all interactions. Do it. Vectal's claw scraped the armrest. Exploration demanded trust. This eroded it. Flag for Psych Eval. We launch for Rift Sector tomorrow. No risks. Soren saluted, frill-dipping green affirm. He retreated to his station. Holoscreens blooming with protocols. Vectal paced. Cathari crews thrived on clarity. Claws clasped. Frills synced. Humans? Opaque. Rumors swirled. Berserk reflexes under stress. Pheromone assaults. Klein's distance fueled it. Protected her. Or plotted. Comm buzzed. Engineering check complete, Captain. Dampeners nominal. Klein's voice. Flat. Efficient. Acknowledged. He cut the line. No warmth. No probe. Not yet. Soren returned, pad extended. Draft ready. Temporary Order 47. Human Specialist Klein confined to Sector 3 decks. No unsupervised access to Fusion Core, Nav AI, or Life Support Nexus. Biometric locks on her overrides. Violations trigger quarantine. Vectal scanned it. Tight. Procedure, perfect. One ad. Mandatory proximity logs. Every crew interaction recorded. Patterns escalate. We isolate. Signed? Soren's frill quivered eager. Not yet. Biological angle first. Vectal. Activated shipwide. Dr. Wren to bridge. Urgent xenobiology. Consult. Wren entered minutes later. Scanner slung over shoulder. Frill pale blue curious. Captain, what anomaly? Klein. Vectal pulled up footage. Repeated distancing. Is it contagion? Pheromone vector? Humans reputed for chemical manipulation. Wren leaned in, eyes narrowing. Her tail flicked processing. Reputed, yes. Old Alliance logs. Human stress pheromones induce aggression in Vorch or Liss. But Cathari? Unclear. No incidents on record. Test it. Vectal pointed. Proximity risk. If she's suppressing a release. Crew cohesion crumbles. Wren synced her scanner to the feed. Analyzing gait. Micro expressions. Heart rate proxies via thermal. Avoidance consistent. But no elevated markers. Could be cultural. Humans favor personal space, 2.5 meters optimal, per exchange data. Or deception. Soren interjected. She bypassed a Cathari debug last shift. Human intuition? Or prep? Wren's frill shifted lavender skepticism. Evidence over rumor. I'll run a controlled approach tomorrow. Low-stress sim. If pheromones spike, we contain. Else, It's behavioral. Vectol weighed it. Ship integrity first. Proceed. But restrictions stand meantime. He signed the pad. Order 47 active. Alarms chirped softly, biometrics updating across decks. Soren distributed. Crew notified. Escorts assigned. Good. Vectal stood. Klein to my ready room. Now. Formal query. Ren paused. Captain. Evidence. Clarity builds trust. His frill flared brief red resolve. Or exposes lies. The comm complied. Minutes later, Klein entered. Tall, pale-skinned, movements precise. She stopped 3 meters back. Exact distance. Specialist Klein. Vectal remained seated. Claws visible. Neutral posture. New protocols. You're restricted. Her eyes flicked to the pad on his desk. No flinch. Understood. Reason? Behavior. He cued the holo. Her retreats played. Hostile patterning. Explain. Klein's jaw tightened. Subtle. Personal space. Human norm. Close contact risks. Misunderstanding. Personal space. Misunderstanding. Misunderstanding, Soren snorted. Or threat? She met his gaze. Steady. I work best solo. Results speak. Vectal leaned forward. Frill alert. Results won't matter if crew fears you. Full disclosure. Now. Biological compulsion? Reflex? Silence stretched. Klein's fingers flexed. Classified. Exchange waiver limits. Ship security supersedes. Vectal's voice hardened. Proximity logs start today. Escorts. No core access without me. Number sent. She nodded once. Compliance. Turned for the door. One more. He extended a claw halt. Ren test tomorrow. Refuse. You're grounded. Klein paused. Back to him. Test what? Risk. Ren spoke up. Pheromones. If safe, protocols lift. Klein's posture shifted. Infinitesimal hunch. Fine. Low dose only. She exited. Door hissed shut. Soren exhaled. Defiant undertone. Observed. Vectal dismissed him. Alone. He pulled fresh footage. Klein in corridor stepping wide around 2 techs. Pattern held. Ren lingered. Captain. She's competent. Fixed the grav glitch. Last week, Cathari standard. Took hours. Competence hides intent. He waved her out. Evidence first. Bridge hummed. Rift sector approach primed. Sensors pinged. Quantum flew nominal. Vectal settled into command. Frill eased. Protocols locked. Human leashed. Then alarms wailed. Rift anomaly. Nav officer barked. Uncharted shear. Dampeners failing cascade imminent. Vectal surged up. Evasive. Engineering stabilize. Soren spun. Core relays glitching. Klein sector. Frill red. Escort her. Now. Or we lose the ship. Crew scrambled. Vectal gripped the rail. Human distance, threat or shield. Too late to guess. The deck bucked. Lights flickered. Rift jaws yawned on the main viewer hungry. Deck bucked under Vectal's claws. Alarms screamed. Engineering. Vectal barked. Status. Soren's frill flared from auxiliary station. Relays fried in Klein's sector. Core breach in 60 seconds. Humans locked out protocols. Vectal slammed override. Unlock her. Escort team move. 2 security rushed corridor sprint. Vectal tracked their feeds. Mara Klein waited at her station, hands steady over flickering panels. No panic. No approach. Security halted 5 meters out. Ma'am. Captain's orders. Core. Access. Klein's eyes flicked up. Nodded. Stepped wide around them. Maintained distance. Frill itched. Ship dying. Human evading again. Deck lurched. Bulkhead groaned. Viewer showed rift, jaws twisting. Devouring probe drones. Captain, nav officer yelped. Trajectory locked. Impact in 45. Vectal gripped rail. Klein report. Her voice cut through comms. Calm. Relays overloaded. Manual reroute needed. Physical lockout at junction. 12. I'll handle. Soren hissed. She can't. No clearance without escort. She will. Vectal. Stab channel. Klein. Explain proximity now. Ship's life. Pause. Her panel view showed fingers dancing, stabilizing auxiliary power. Stress triggers reflex. Strength surge. Uncontrolled near contact. Hurts allies. Vectal's frill snapped full. Demonstrate. Controlled. Or we die guessing. On way. Klein grabbed toolkit. Bolted. Solo down corridor. Security trailed at distance. Engineering deck shuddered. Sparks flew from conduits. Crew scattered as Klein arrived. She vaulted. Railing landed meters from junction. No touch. Junction sealed. Her voice echoed. Need force to pry. Watch. Vectal patched full sensor feed. Watched. Klein squared shoulders. Inhaled deep. Exhaled. Hands gripped pry bar. Muscles bunched under jumpsuit. Nothing. Then eyes narrowed. She tensed. Pry bar bent. Junction panel screamed metal. Tore free like foil. Crew froze. Gasps rippled. Soren leaned in. Sensors? Augment? Vectal carried logs. No. Pure force. Human baseline. Klein dropped panel. Claws, no. Fingers plunged into wiring nest. Ripped, burnt relays. Slammed new ones home. Sparks danced. She held steady. No flinch. Deck stabilized. Dampeners hummed green, but rift shear intensified. Viewer warped. Hull integrity at 70%. More, Klein grunted. Cascade relay behind bulkhead. Armored. Watch space. She backed up. 3 meters clear. Crew edged away, instinctive. Klein charged. Foot slammed deck, rippled force. Fists hammered bulkhead dents, cratered instant. Third strike. Panel exploded inward. Exposed glowing core relay. Spitting plasma. Vectal's breath caught, frill rigid. Human flesh against plasma? No scar. No scream. She yanked relay cluster. Muscles corded like cables. Tossed dead unit aside, smashed deck plate. Slotted fresh. Locked with bare hands. Twist crunch. Alarms silenced. Dampeners surged full. Nav officer whooped. Clearance. Rift evaded. Crew erupted cheers. Security stared. One reached toward Klein. She snapped up. Boundary. 3 meters. Or reflex hits. Security retreated. Frill quivering. Vectal exhaled. Rose from command. Bridge to engineering. Debrief. Sealed room. Klein wiped hands. Nodded to empty air. Compliance. Minutes later, sealed conference chamber hissed shut. Vectal faced her across table. Soren flanked him. Dr. Wren waited in corner. Scanner primed. Klein stood precise 3 meters opposite. Posture loose. Eyes level. Explain. Vectal's claw tapped console. Replay cued. Strength surge footage. That. All of it. Klein's jaw set. Adrenaline reflex. Human baseline. Triggers under stress. Density shift muscles. Bones. Peak output. Lift 2 tons. Duration. Minutes. Risk. Involuntary. If touched during peak. Crushes. Grips. Soren's frill bristled. Why hide? Waiver requires disclosure. Exchange protocols. Klein's voice flat. Classified until necessity. Past crews panicked. Quarantined us. Lost specialists. Vectol replayed junction tear. Prybar bent like reed. Test it. Controlled. Ren stepped forward. Stress induction. Safe dose. Pheromone neutralizer ready. Klein eyed scanner. Low yield. No contact. Ren nodded. Injected mild stressor via air vent. Vectol watched vitals spike on shared feed. Klein flexed fingers. Grip tested table edge. Wood analog splintered. She released. Breathed steady. Flexed again, controlled release. Table held. Verified. Ren's frill smoothed. No. Pheromones. Pure physiology. Remarkable density modulation. Soren crossed arms. Still deviation. Containment. Side effect. Containment. No. Vectol cut him. Evidence supersedes. Sensors confirm. No augment. No threat outward. Inward risk only. Klein met his gaze. Workarounds. Remote interfaces for core. Hollow projections for briefings. Escort buffers at 3 meters. I fix what breaks. Deck hummed steady now. Rift receded on external feed. Vectol considered. Competence proven. Ship saved. Distance, not defiance. Protocol. Accepted. He extended. Claw, not halt. But gesture. Protocols adjust. Proximity logs end. Core access granted. Solo. Klein's shoulders eased. Infinitesimal. Understood. Rift logs need review. Anomalous shear patterns. Soren stiffened. Captain. Dismissed. Vectol waved him. Soren exited, frill twitching. Ren lingered. Captain. Human variability. Broader scans? Later. Vectol focused on Klein. Her eyes flicked to replay. Surge. Frozen mid-frame. Trust. Earned through action. Words. Fuel fear. Frill eased fully. Vectol nodded. Lesson noted. Door hissed. Klein turned. Paused. Captain. Agreed. She exited. Precise stride. Distance maintained, not rejection. Vectol sank into chair. Pulled fresh logs. Human reflex metrics spiked against Cathari norms. Extraordinary. Bridge.com buzzed. Nav. Captain. Anomaly resolved. But secondary flux building. Probes detect structure. Vectol surged up. Detail. Visuals. Viewer bloomed. Rift edge. Massive lattice. Frill sharpened. Human at side, now holo feed patched in. Klein's voice. That's no natural shear. Relic tech. I've seen Sims. Soren returned. Escort? Vectol waved it off. No need. Trust locked. Ship hummed toward unknown. Human strength. Shield. Not threat. But lattice pulsed. Weapons trace? Deck thrummed. Accelerating. Klein's holo sharpened. Armoring up. Physical. Breach. Probable. Vectol gripped console. Prepare teams. Klein led. Prepare. Teams. Her nod. Solid. Rift lattice loomed. Jaws parted not hungry. Inviting. Sensors screamed. Energy bloom. Collision course. Vectol braced. Hold. Klein cut in. Frill flared question. But logs fresh. Trust action. Match course. Vectol ordered. Human lead. Ship dove in. Lattice engulfed viewer. Clamps engaged gentle. Docking complete. Airlock cycle. Klein's team assembled. Her self-center. 3-meter bubble enforced. Doors. Her command. Vectol watched feeds. Tension coiled. Airlock irised. Beyond. Shadowed corridor. Alien script glowed. Not Cathari. Figure stirred in gloom. Tall. Multi-limbed. Turned. Klein stepped forward. Boundary held. Contact protocol. Verbal first. Figure rasped, translation matrix spun. Vectal's frill iced. Veil? Relic awake. Human voice steady. Identify. Intent. Figure advanced. Paused at her boundary. Klaxons wailed. Vectal gripped his command console as the Time's vanguard times lurched. A micrometeoroid swarm, unseen until too late, punched through the hull. Sparks erupted across the bridge viewer. Red lights pulsed. Reactor coolant line ruptured. Engines offline. Status, Vectal barked. His frill quivered, instincts demanding order amid chaos. Soren's claws clicked on his panel. Primary coolant breach. Deck 7. Manual shutdown engaged. Core temp rising. ETA to critical. 8 minutes. Vectal's gaze snapped to the human holofeed. Mara Klein stood rigid in engineering, her face pale under the strobing alarms. She'd led the relic docking. Proven, yet she kept that 3-meter bubble. Always. No exceptions. His frill itched prejudice? Or caution? Repair teams to reactor bay, Vectal ordered. Klein. Negative, Captain. Soren's voice cut sharp. Containment protocols. Human profile. Unverified tolerances. Assigning Kresh and Tira. They'll brace and seal. Vectal's frill flattened. Soren's logic grated. Humans registered odd higher mass, variable biometrics. Rumors swirled. Volatile. But Klein had matched the lattice pattern. Saved them from collision. Action spoke. Deck vibrations worsened. The ship groaned. Relic clamps straining outside. Core hum turned growl. Engineering feed bloomed. Kresh and Tira, suited in full rad shields, cycled into the bay. Steam jetted from the ruptured line. Coolant hissed. Flash freezing metal in plumes. Temps hit 400 Kelvin. Lethal without gear. Klein hovered at the bay doors. Locked out. Her hands flexed. Mouth tight. Brace it. Kresh signaled via suit comm. Tira hauled the manual clamp rig 200 kilos of alloy struts. They wrestled it into position. Steam scalded their shields. Clamps slipped. Once. Twice. Pressure spike, Tira yelped. Coolant surged, shearing a strut. Kresh staggered back. Alarms escalated. Core breach imminent. 6 minutes. Vectal slammed his console. Soren, override the lock. Klein enters. Now. Soren whirled, frill rigid. Captain, regs prohibit. Human reflex data incomplete. She maintains distance for cause. What if her sim scores outmatch yours? Vectal rose, looming. She interfaced the lattice blind. Orders. Soren hesitated. Claws danced. Lock disengaged with a chime. Klein didn't wait. She bolted through the doors. No suit. No shield. Just her standard jumpsuit and tool harness. Crew gaped via feeds. Kresh and Tira recoiled. Frills icing. Perimeter. Vectal snapped into comms. 3 meters. Hold. She nodded once. Dropped to knees amid the steam. Coolant vented hot 500 Kelvin now. Human skin should blister. Yet she yanked the rig free from Kresh's failed brace. Muscles corded under her suit. She hefted the full clamp assembly solo. 200 kilos. Like lifting a crate. Vectal leaned into the viewer. Impossible. Kresh needed Tira's help. Steam parted. Klein slammed the primary strut home. Sparks flew. She twisted the hydraulic lock's manual torque. No power assist. Metal groaned. Sealed. Coolant flow halved. Secondary line, she grunted. Voice steady. Sweated, but moved. Grabbed the seal patch flexi alloy sheet. Vacuum rated. Pressed it flush against the rupture. Her hands blurred. Brace. Weld. Torch. Ignited. Blue flame danced inches from her face. No flinch. Tira's comm crackled. She's unshielded. Core rads at 200 sieverts. Lethal dose. Vectal's frill spiked. Humans fragile. Scans said so. Yet Klein sealed the patch. Torch hissed. Alloy bonded. Flow stopped. 4 minutes left. She wasn't done. Tertiary vent hidden pinhole, spraying plasma-edged vapor. Klein crawled under the manifold, space tight for Kresh's bulk. She fit. Torch probed. Brace clicked. Final seal. Core temp peaked. Then dropped. Alarms shifted green. Engines whined back online. Klein rose. Steam cleared. Jumpsuit scorched at edges. Skin red, blistered minor. She wiped sweat, nodded to Kresh and Tira. Back to her perimeter. Bridge fell silent. Soren stared at his panel. Frill limp. Vectal exhaled. Damage report. Nominal, Soren murmured. Repairs held. Core stable. Dr. Wren's voice patched in from medbay. Klein's vitals. Elevated, but recovering. No rad poisoning. Skin regen, already active. Vectal's frill curled slow. Regen? Human specs lied. Or hid. That distance her bubble not prejudice. Protection. For them. Reflex. Strength. Tolerance. Lethal to touch, unwary. Bridge to engineering. Vectal keyed comm. Klein. Debrief. My ready room. Perimeter observed. Captain. Her voice even. No boast. He cut the line. Stood. Soren met his gaze. Captain. Protocols. Update them. Vectal strode past. Evidence over profiles. Ready room doors hissed. Klein entered. Stopped precise at 3 meters. Hands loose. Vectal circled his desk. Frill. Neutral. Explain. She met his eyes. Humans handle heat. Rads better. Long story evolution. Didn't mention. Your crews spook easy. Last ship. Handshake crushed a claw. Reflex grip. Kept distance. Saved questions. Truth landed. Simple. Vectal's frill eased. Not threat. Asset. Hidden to shield fragile allies. Spook? He clicked, mandibles amusement. You sealed a plasma vent, bare-handed. Standard op. She shrugged. Blisters fading already. Teamwork. Your rig worked fine. Soren entered, trailed by Wren. Frills. Tentative. Captain, Soren said. Relic docking holds, but sensors detect activity. Inside the lattice. Movement. Viewer activated. Shadowed corridors stirred. Multi-limbed figures massed. Beyond Klein's first contact, Wren leaned in. They're signaling. Power surge aligning with our core pulse. Invitation? Or scan? Klein's eyes narrowed. Patterns familiar. Old human probe logs. They're prepping a lockout. Vectal tensed. Trust, forged in fire. Human lead again. Initiate contact, he ordered. Klein. You and Wren. Full team. No bubble this time. Her nod came instant. Solid. Soren stiffened. Then saluted. Crew cohesion locked. Doors cycled. Figures advanced in the gloom. Not alone. Dozens. Lattice. Thrummed. Alive. Vectal gripped his console. Ship hummed. Toward the heart. Human capability unveiled key. Not cage. But shadows deepened. What waited beyond the veil? Vectal stabbed the comm panel. Bridge crew. Assemble. Full review. Officers flooded the bridge. Soren arrived first. Frill rigid. Wren followed. Scanner in grip. Mara Klein lingered at the rear. Her posture straight, but distant. Crew eyes flicked to her wary. Vectal activated the main viewer. Repair footage rolled. Mara's gloved hands stripped the plasma vent panel. Alarms screamed. Superheated gas jetted. She yanked her gloves. Bare skin met the breach. Plasma kissed flesh. She sealed it, muscles locked, no flinch. Sensor overlays bloomed. Temperature spiked to 800 degrees. Radiation levels lethal to Cathari scales. Mara's vitals flatlined on pain response. Blisters formed, then faded in real time. Gasps rippled. A technician's frill inverted shock. Overlay complete, Vectal said. Klein acted. Saved the core. Her species tolerates this. Evolution, she claims. No prior disclosure. Soren's mandibles clicked. Captain, protocols, demand profiles. Humans deviate. Containment. Revises now. Vectal cut him off. No guards. Liaisons only. Pair Klein with volunteers. Rotate shifts. She leads relic ops. Questions threw me. Murmurs rose. A junior engineer. Trick. Hissed. She hides threats. What else lurks? Vectal's frill flared. Evidence speaks. Dismissed. Soren. Plot intercept course. Ren. Prep bioscans for contact. Crew dispersed. Mara nodded once to Vectal. Then slipped to her station. Distance held 2 meters from nearest frill. Ship shuddered into alignment. Relic lattice loomed on screens. Shadows writhed inside. Power surges pulsed in sync. Contact team, launch, Vectal ordered. Klein with Ren. Soren overseas. Pods detached. Vectal tracked feeds. Mara's suit cam showed corridors alive. Multi-limbed forms gestured probing, not attacking. Ren's voice crackled. They mimic our hails. Non-verbal. Mara replied calm. Old protocol. Mirror their pulse. I'll interface. Her hands danced on a relic console. Lattice hummed. Lights flared. Figures retreated. Path cleared. Bridge cheered. Trick scowled. Frill tight. Vectal exhaled. Trust budded. But cohesion frayed. Hours later, engineering bay hummed. Vectal inspected relays post-docking. Crew bustled. Mara calibrated a power tap. Back to the wall. Space cleared around her instinct now. Trick approached. No liaison in sight. His claws flexed. Human. You breach vents bare? Lies. Mara stiffened, kept eyes on her tool. He closed in 1 meter. Breath hot on her neck. Prove it. Grip my claw. Like last ship, her hand twitched. Reflex spiked. Fingers clamped his forearm, bone crunched. Trick yelped, wrenching free. Claw mangled, dripping. Crew froze. Alarms blared med-response. Mara recoiled. Hands balled. Back off. Trick lunged, frill inverted fury. Monster! Vectal burst through the hatch. Stand down! He shoved between them, pinned Trick's good arm. Trick thrashed. She crushed me. Prejudiced brute. Crew gathered. Whispers swelled. Mara edged back. Face pale. Vectal faced them. Frill. Steady. Witness this. He tapped his comm. Replay. Feed activated bay cams. Footage rolled. Trick's advance. Mara's warning ignored. Grip flashed precise, not wild. Strength measured. 400 kilos per square claw. Gasps again. Ren pushed forward. Reflexive. Not malice. Human muscle density evolved for grip tasks. Planetary fauna demanded it. Quote, Soren arrived, scanned Trick's claw. Clean break. Regen in days. But violation. No. Liaison. Vectal released Trick. Consequences. Trick. Demotion. Solitary shift. No relic access. Trick snarled. Captain defends the freak? Asset. Vectal snapped. She sealed plasma. Opened the lattice. Distance. Protection. Our claws shatter under her norm. She spared questions. Spared pain. Crew frills eased. Eyes shifted. Mara. No threat. Hidden trait unveiled. Competence. Not cage. Mara met Vectal's gaze. Nodded once. Tension bled from her shoulders. Ren smiled, frill curl. Evidence aligns. Pair me as liaison. Approved, Vectal said. All hands. Protocols live. Trust action. Not rumor. Trick slunk away. Med drone trailing. Crew resumed closer now. Mara worked unmolested. Vectal watched screens. Relic core beckoned. Shadows parted further. Human lead. Unlocked it. But a new surge hit. Lattice trembled. Forms masked not retreat. Advance. Captain, Soren called. They've locked our pod bay. Trap? Vectal gripped console. Mara's voice cut in from engineering. Not trap. Challenge. I'll vent the override. Trust sealed. Ship dove deeper. Pods cycled shut. Relic airlocks sealed with a hiss. Vectal's Team 6, Cathari strong, stepped into gloom. Mara and Ren flanked him. Liaison synced. Multi-limbed sentience towered. 8 legs. Crystal frills pulsing light. No aggression. Probes extended scans. One touched Mara's arm. Gentle. Her reflex held controlled. It reads our logs. Ren whispered. Human probe era. They remember. Mara interfaced a wall panel. Data flowed. Lattice secrets spilled. Star maps. Ancient drives. Vectal's frill quivered. Collaboration triumphed. Alien relics yielded to joint hands. Back aboard, crew hailed them. Trick watched from isolation, frill neutral. Debrief hummed. Vectal stood. Klein's distance saved claws. Our procedures saved the vent. Together. Stars. Cheers erupted. Mara smiled. Faint. Accepted. Soren saluted her. Liaison shift starts now, but alarms wailed anew. Core readings spiked. Relic feedback loop. Overload. Imminent. Mara bolted to station. I've got it. Vectal nodded. Lead. Her hands flew bare again. Heat bloomed. Crew trusted. No flinch. Shadows beyond whispered more. Alliance forged. Engineering thrummed under Mara's steady grip. Vectal monitored from bridge. Liaison protocol worked. Soren shadowed her now. Frill relaxed. Trick's demotion stuck. Crew rotated pairs. Whispers died. Actions proved. Relic hall grew. Artifacts. Data cores. Cathari precision cataloged. Human endurance hauled. One cycle later, mess hall filled. Vectal entered. Mara sat alone, space voluntary now. He approached. Join? She slid tray over. Claws met no reflex. Distance halved. Teamwork, she said. Frills across the hall curled amusement. Accord. But viewer pinged. Lattice edge. New signal. Human signature. Probe awake. New signature. New signature. Vectal tensed. Klein? Her eyes lit. Hours. Lost colony? Ship turned. Trust propelled them. Unknowns ahead. Deep space yielded. Human hidden no more. Key turned. Vectal slid his tray onto the mess hall table, positioning it precisely 2 arm lengths from Mara's. Specialist Klein. Share this meal under controlled conditions? Mara glanced up from her nutrient slab. Her eyes flicked to the empty benches around them. She nodded once. Accepted, Captain. Space holds. He settled onto the bench opposite, claws clicking softly against the metal. No crew approached. Frills across the hall curled in curiosity, but Soren waved them back from a distance. Vectal speared a protein weave, chewing methodically. Mara ate in mirror rhythm. Fork steady. Gaze on her plate. The silence stretched 1 cycle. Vectal broke it. Your distance no longer signals isolation. Crew pairs form without protest. She swallowed. Progress. He leaned forward and increment testing. Her posture held firm. No retreat. I mistook it for prejudice. Hatred cloaked as protocol. What fear did humans learn to carry? Mara set her fork down. Her fingers flexed. Bare skin pale under the lights. Not hatred. Reflex. Human nerves fire on sudden alien proximity. Adrenaline surge. Strength triples. But control slips. One twitch in a conduit bay ship dies. Vectal's frill stiffened. He recalled her bolt to engineering during the relic overload. Hands bare, rerouting plasma vents, while crew flinched from heat. No surge then. Controlled. You hid this. Risked solo exposure. Explanation breeds panic. She tapped her temple. Action proves. Humans train void-walking reflexes in sims. Blind contact drills. Muscle memory over fear. His claws paused midair. Cathari doctrine demanded full disclosure. Profiles cataloged every species quirk. Humans evaded, yet their relic halls stacked higher, endurance outpacing claws. Demonstrate? Not here. Mara pushed her tray aside. Joint plan. Mixed species void sims. Captain led. Build tolerance both ways. Vectal signaled Soren. The first officer approached, frill querying. Captain? Authorize cross-species drills. Engineering bays, Cycle 3. Klein designs protocol. I participate first. Soren's frill snapped flat protocol breach. Overruled. Vectal rose. Evidence trumps rumor. Dismissed. Mara stood too. Tray collected. Prep starts now. My station. Vectal followed her stride to the lift. Crew parted. Frills rippling approval. Bridge chatter hushed as they passed. Doctor. Wren pinged his comm. Captain. Xenobiology queries human reflex data. Observe drills. Record actions. Engineering thrummed. Mara patched into the core console. Holographic sim blooming. Vectal donned the void suit. Seals hissing tight. Cathari gear locked claws rigid precision over power. Human suits flexed loose. Joints humming. Scenario 1. Mara's voice crackled over suit comm. Relic breach. Plasma leak. Proximity forced. No visuals. Darkness swallowed the bay. Alarms blared synthetic wails. Vectal clawed forward. Frill blind in the helmet. Heat ghosted his flank. Mara's form materialized inches away, rerouting a holovent. Her gloved hand brushed his arm plate. Reflex hit. His frill spasmed. Venom glands itching unused. He froze. Protocol screaming. Retreat. Steady. Her voice cut through. Breathe cycle. Human drill. Count heartbeats. 1, 2. Anchor. He counted. 1, 2. Her hand withdrew. Vent sealed. Lights flared. Clear. Mara peeled off her helmet first. Sweat beaded her brow, but eyes sharp. Your frill spiked. Venom reflex? Vectal vented his suit. Cathari defense. Close threat toxins deploy. Non-lethal to us. Lethal to unadapted. She nodded. Mirrors ours. Swap roles. You lead vent. Soren entered the bay. Datapad glowing. Captain. This violates. Join or log. Vectal reset the sim. Darkness again. Mara's form loomed sudden deliberate breach. Vectal's claws locked a conduit. Proximity alarm shrieked. Her shoulder grazed his. Heartbeat count. 1 to 2. Toxins held. Vent sealed. Lights up. Mara grinned faint. Held. Human baseline. 90%. Control. Post-drill. Dr. Wren slipped in, scanner whirring. Fascinating. Human adrenaline amplifies grip strength. Cathari. Venom precision rivals. Symbiosis potential. Soren's frill eased a notch. Data compiles. Recommend fleet-wide. Vectal stripped his suit. Expand to full crew. Klein overseas. Alarms pierced the bay reel this time. Core viewer flashed. Lattice probe signal. Strengthening. Human signature pulsed. Coordinates locking. Mara bolted to auxiliary console. Feedback loop from relic integration. Probe amplifying. Collision vector. Vectal gripped his comm. Helm. Evasive pattern delta. Engineering. Full report. Too late for delta. Mara's hands flew bare over panels. No gloves. Manual shunt needed. Bay 7. Captain. Suit up. Close quarters. He donned gear without hesitation. Soren followed. Dr. Wren trailed. Scanner ready. Bay 7 vented steam. Plasma hissed. Vectal dropped through the hatch, claws finding rungs. Mara descended beside him, too close by old measure. Reflexes primed. Left conduit. She pointed, body brushing his in the narrow shaft. Heat bloomed from her skin, visible now, faint glow under strain. Adrenaline aura? No time. Vectal slashed insulation. Wires sparked. Mara's bare fingers plunged in, twisting feeds. Surge hit. Her arm locked rigid, strength wrenching metal aside. Glow intensified bioluminescence. Conduit realigned. Probe signal stabilized. Collision averted. Vectal sealed the hatch behind them. Steam cleared. He stared at her arm. Faint glow faded. That capability. Hidden. Survival norm. Mara flexed her hand. Human ships train it. Glow signals overload, self-regulate, or burn out. Soren's frill curled wide. Extraordinary. Profiles rewritten. Dr. Wren scanned furiously. Endothermic venting. Heat to light. Efficiency unmatched. Vectal's frill settled neutral, trust solid. You risked confirmation. Every prejudice, fear, volatile human, ship killer. Action disproves. She met his gaze. Drills continue? Daily. He clapped her shoulder, contact earned. No reflex either way. Bridge hailed. Captain. Probe hailing. Visual contact. Human vessel inbound. Vectal strode out. Mara at his side. Viewer bloomed. Sleek probe ship. Earth registry. Docking lights flared. Crew assembled. Frill's high anticipation. Soren saluted Mara. Liaison permanent. Dr. Wren beamed. First contact protocol. Joint. Vectal opened comm. Human vessel. This is Captain Vectal of Cathari Explorer. Docking granted. Welcome. Static crackled. A voice replied, human timbre. Klein? That you? Readings show alien claws everywhere. Mara smiled. Affirmative. Claws saved. Drills forged. Probe docked. Airlock cycled. A human captain stepped through, tall, unhelmeted. Eyes widened at the frills. Heard rumors. Didn't believe. Vectal extended claw. Believe actions. Tour the bays. Handshake sealed. Frills curled accord. Whispers spread. More humans coming. Relics waited. Drills expanded. But deep scan pinged anew. Probe data burst. Lattice anomaly. Shadow fleet signature. Hostile. Vectal tensed. Battle stations. Mixed crews. Mara's eyes lit. Our drills. Ready. Claws and hands moved as one. Unknowns charged. Trust propelled. Explosions rocked the hull. Vectal gripped his console as the Shadow Fleet's lead corvette unleashed plasma lances. Shields buckled at 20%. Port batteries. Fire. Soren barked. Cathari gunners obeyed, claws dancing over controls. Mara Klein stood at auxiliary engineering, hands blurring across panels. Human fingers patched power relays mid-barrage. Rerouting surge to forward emitters. Hold formation. Vectal's frill flared approval. Drills paid off. Claws and hands synced like one organism. The corvette shattered under combined fire. Cathari precision, laced with human speed. Two more unknowns dove in. Vectal spun his chair. Evasive pattern delta. Mara! Vent heat to countermeasures. She nodded, sweat beading on pale skin. Consoles hummed. Flares erupted from the bays, blinding enemy sensors. Cathari torpedoes struck true. Debris bloomed, last one breaking off. Soren reported. Frills across the bridge curled in victory. Vectal exhaled. Trust propelled them through. Mara wiped her brow, eyes steady on him. No distance now, no reflex triggered. Comm crackled. Cathari Explorer. This is Enforcer Vessel Zorath, Regional Accord Authority. Stand down all weapons. Surrender the human asset immediately. Vectal's frill stiffened. Rival markings flashed on the viewer. A hulking Enforcer frigate. Cannons hot. Not Shadow Fleet. Worse. Bureaucrats with claws. Soren hissed. They tracked the probe burst. Demand custody under Law 47 dangerous xeno-containment. Dr. Wren leaned in from xenobiology. Feed. Scans. Confirm. Vorak registry. Hardliners. They label humans. Volatile predators. Based on rumors. Mara tensed beside Vectal. Her shoulders squared, but she stayed silent. Vectal opened the channel. Enforcer Zorath. Captain Vectal commanding. Threat neutralized. State your intent. A Vorak commander filled the screen, frills scarred, eyes narrow. Human aboard your vessel breaches Accord protocols. Surrender Mara Klein. She endangers all crews. Regional law mandates custody. Vectal's claws tightened. Mara saved them thrice. Heat vents, drill synergies. Now this battle. Logs proved it. Negative. Klein is logged crew asset. Life-saving actions documented shield rebuilds. Combat reroutes. Ship's property under exploration charter. The Vorak snarled. Prejudice? Humans hide claws. Distance signals threat. Your crew cohesion fractures. Comply or face blockade, Soren whispered. Captain, their guns outmass us. Zorath carries Marines. Vectal met Mara's gaze. She nodded once ready. Trust tested again. Stand by, Zorath, Vectal said. He muted comm. She stepped forward. Demonstration. Human thermal regulation under load. Safe parameters. Clear rules, no contact. Measured output. Dr. Wren's eyes lit. Endothermic proof. Broadcast it. Evidence over fear. Vectal signaled Soren. Prep engineering bay holocams. Full sensor feed to Zorath and our crews. Lock it down. Foursome. Lock it down. Bridge hummed. Mara led them to the bay. Vectal followed. Frill neutral. Crew assembled Cathari in ranks. Humans from the probe ship mixed in. The Vorak watched via split feed. Mara stood center stage, under floodlights. Rule 1. Maintain 3-meter perimeter. Rule 2. Monitor vents only. Rule 3. I signal stop. She activated the simulator. Load banks ramped to overload, heat spiked to Cathari danger levels. Alarms wailed. Vectal watched scales. Crew frills twitched. Mara stripped outer layers, revealing pale skin engineered for this. Steam vented from her pores, not sweat, but structured release. Efficiency charts spiked. 98% conversion. Heat to infrared pulse. Output stable, Dr. Wren announced. No volatility. Human norm. Zorath feed crackled. The Vorak commander's frill drooped. Impossible. Endothermic at that rate? Ship killer myth? Debunked? Mara pushed harder. Simulators redlined. She glowed faint body, radiating waste energy as harmless light. Hands steady on controls. She balanced the load. No tremor. No rage reflex. Vectol broadcast logs. Battle saves. Drill data. Actions disprove fears. She hides capability to avoid prejudice, not cause it. Crew cheered, claws clapping, human fists pumping. Soren saluted Mara. Containment policies obsolete. Zoreth hesitated. Data. Verifies. Accord rewrite. Required. Zoreth. Rewrite. Required. Vectol seized it. Joint protocol. Mixed drills. Shared logs. Interspecies exchange. Sign now. The Vorak nodded slowly. Transmission locked. Zoreth stands down. Human. Asset integrated. Feeds cut. Bay erupted. Vectol approached Mara, perimeter respected. You risked exposure. Every fear confirmed, then crushed. Action builds trust, she said. Her hand extended first voluntary contact. He clasped it. Cool, steady. No reflex. Soren grinned. Captain. Zoreth relays. Lattice anomaly cleared. But deep space ping new signature. Earth fleet massing. Dr. Wren scanned. Not hostile. Invitation? Vectol's console beeped. Mara smiled. Ours. Ready for more drills? Bridge alarms shifted docking protocols. Human ships inbound. Frills high. With welcome. But Vorak, WhisperNet buzzed. Hardliners